The information shared is for educational purposes only. Before taking any action, please seek the advice of a financial or tax professional. Hi there, my name is Ron Yaish, and I am with SpecialNeedsLifePlanning.com. We are on the South Carolina ABLE account website. Our goal today is to do a walkthrough of this website, kind of like a guided tour, if you will. If you were looking for more of a broad understanding and view of ABLE accounts, you can register down below for a free webinar that we have on ABLE accounts. It's called the ABLE Account 101, where we go more into the details of what makes up an ABLE account. Today, you're going to notice that we're going to jump around a little bit, make some commentaries on different aspects of the website, get you familiar with the resources that are available here. Before we begin, we'd just like to make sure to say that before taking any action, please seek the guidance of a financial professional. Okay, so you could find this South Carolina ABLE account at scable.org. That's SC for South Carolina, ABLE.org. And let's check things out here. Okay. Okay, so offering ABLE accounts to South Carolinians with disabilities. Okay, so the question is this only for South Carolinians? Let's see. Okay. ABLE accounts give people with special needs more independence and financial security. What are the benefits? You get tax-free earnings, financial benefits not affected, and you get access to what they call a stable card. So let's just make a point on the financial benefits not affected. So financial benefits aren't affected as long as this account doesn't go over the $100,000 balance limit. The minute it crosses the $100,000, benefits such as SSI benefits may be compromised. So please be aware of that. And that's a little confusing to some people, especially because a lot of the ABLE accounts have much larger balance limits than $100,000, right? So one could be, $400,000, another one could be $500,000, and there may be a purpose and a use for some people to grow their balance to that point. However, if you do receive SSI benefits and you cross the $100,000 limit in this account, then your benefits may be compromised. Okay, so let's keep going. Who is eligible? South Carolinians. Okay, are you eligible? Saving. Okay, so you may contribute $15,000 a year, beginning in 2018, into an ABLE account. That $15,000 contribution may come from yourself, the individual who's the account holder, the individual that is eligible for this ABLE account. The $15,000 contribution can come in many different parts, from friends, family members, really anybody. And if the individual who is the owner of this account is employed, that individual may contribute an additional $12,060 from their income into the ABLE account. So in 2018, you could theoretically put in $27,060. Now that $12,060, I don't believe is set up to be contributed yet. And the reason why I say that is because of the tax reform that was signed into law on December 22nd, 2017, included this addition. However, I don't believe there are any plans across the United States that have actually implemented that change. We're taping this, it's still the beginning of 2018, so I'm not familiar, I'm not aware of a plan that actually makes this possible to actually make this contribution. So it is coming, as it says here, coming soon. In this plan, you also get to choose from 5 different investment options, including 4 mutual fund-based investments and 1 FDIC insured investment, and that is FDIC insured up to $250,000. And then there are the qualified expenses. So that's the question, right? So I have this money in the account, whether it's $100, whether it's $1,000. What can I spend this money on, right? The government has set this up in such a way to give some nice benefits to this account where the money grows in the account without paying taxes, as long as the money is used for the benefit of a qualified disability expense. The money will not be taxed. The fact that the money grew to whatever it grew to. So what could you spend the money on? So we do have a set of resources down below. You can click down below, a bunch of resources. Among those is a qualified disability expense report. So it's something that you can get access to. It's not exhaustive, but it gives you a better idea and some more examples of what you could use the money for. But just to give you a general frame, it's the account purpose is to help individuals that are qualified for this account, individuals with special needs. And I say that just because there may be individuals in the United States that do have special needs but may not qualify for this account. So assuming you qualify for this account and you are an individual with special needs, the funds have to go to benefit that individual. That's really the bottom line. If the individual is going to go get more training, great. The individual is going to pay for their rent, great. The individual is going to decide to send somebody, a good friend, on a $10,000 cruise around the world, not good. That's a red flag, not good. So as long as, the purpose is to benefit and to be, the individual with special needs directly. That's 1. 2, wanted to mention that in our resource listing down below, we do have a PDF and an Excel spreadsheet for you to download. And the purpose of these spreadsheets are for you to keep track of these expenses. Right now, these states don't require you to submit that, but it is best practice to keep track of the date the expense was made, how much that expense was for, who this expense was made out to, and the purpose. As long as you have that, then you've really covered yourself and really the right thing to do. So consider you can create your own spreadsheets, but you have one that you could just download down below. You could just click our resource section below this video. Okay, what else do we have here? You can reach the team here by calling, by emailing them. Okay, let's click the benefits. Internet's a tad slow today. The earnings you make on your stable account are not subject to federal or South Carolina state income taxes, as long as you spend the earnings on a qualified disability expense. I'm trying to see if this is an account that is open to everybody or just residents of South Carolina. We made this point about the not going over $100,000. This Stabler card is a nice benefit. It's a prepaid debit card. Nice way to nice perk to have. Okay, let's go to eligibility. Not going into how they define an eligible person. Okay, the SC Able Savings Account is only available, here you go, is only available to South Carolina residents. Residents of other states may open a stable account by visiting stableaccount.com. So that is the more general one, open to other states. South Carolina residents only may participate in scable.org. That is very good to know. Okay. So there you go, folks. Let's go to saving and investing. And you do have the, a growth option, a moderate growth option, conservative growth option, and an income option. Okay, they direct you to how to open that up. You can go through the links. Then you have a bank safe option. That is the FDIC insured account up to $250,000. And these are your options within this account. You can click the who can contribute. Really anybody. One of the things that I mentioned to, and I've heard from other individuals that this is something that is used, is a good idea to consider, is a month before the individual's birth date and a month before the holidays, a family member or a close friend can send a notice out, a letter out to close friends and family members, letting them know that so-and-so has this account. If you are considering getting so-and-so a holiday gift or a birthday gift, this may be something you may want to consider. It helps the individual save money, with their savings. And here's the address for South Carolina. Here's the account name, and here's the account number. There is something called an e-gift tool that you could also use, which I believe provides a link. Again, in communicating the fact that this exists to close friends and family members is important, and B, making it easy for them or easier for them to take action, right? If somebody wanted to take action, but they don't have the address and they just don't have the account number and they just don't have the details, it's just going to make it hard for them to, take that step and really do it. So food for thought. We mentioned the contributions. Okay, so the SC Able savings account limit is $426,000, which is a lot of money. How do you withdraw money? Withdrawals, you can choose to receive funds by electronic transfer or by check. Can you send? There are no limits on the number of withdrawals you can make. There are no fees associated. Kind of nice. And okay, so if you have, it didn't say anything about recurring payments, but if there's no limit, then you can, make payments that you need coming out of this account. And for tax reporting purposes, when you withdraw the money, they will treat and report that withdrawal as a distribution from the account. Okay, so that is important for you to know. Okay, and a little bit more on qualified expenses. If you keep that general idea that I shared with you on the purpose of this account and who it could be spent on, things just become more clear, right? Something to just be made aware of. If you do spend these funds on rent and you have the amount, whether it's $400 or $300, put into your own account and it sits there until you pay rent, until you pay the rent bill, make sure not to allow 30 days to lapse, because that may, 30 days is over 30 days when money's in your account, that money, that balance is added to your asset limit. So if somebody has an asset limit and they're close, let's say you're only allowed to have $2,000 in your account if you have SSI, if you receive SSI benefits. And let's say you have $1,800 in an account. And all of a sudden you have $500 coming from your ABLE account and it's placed into your checking account. You have 30 days to make that payment. If you miscalculated and the money was there more than 30 days, now you have not $1,800 in your account as an asset, but you actually have $3,300. Sorry, $2,300. I don't know where I got that extra 1,000 from. So instead of 1,800, it became 2,300. Whoops, you just went over the $2,000 asset limit, and that may compromise some of your benefits. So please, please be careful. Okay, therapy, respite care. As long as it's going to benefit the individual with special needs, that is really the key. Now, that doesn't mean that if the individual needs to go with somebody, let's say the individual is deciding to go to an amusement park, and the individual needs assistance, right? So I believe that the cost of the ticket for the individual, him or herself, would count as a entertainment, which would be okay. And I believe if there was somebody else that was needed to be there as an aide or a guide or whatever it is, that person's ticket may also be covered. This is something to look into. Please don't hold me to that. That is my understanding of this. Again, if you decided to, run, to just randomly give out things to people, and the individual wasn't there, and this was just done as, let's say, holiday gifts, that really wouldn't be appropriate, right? Because that's not, even though it's benefiting the person theoretically, because then they are absolved of their holiday gifts. No, funds have to be spent on them. It has to go, the service and what is received has to go to directly benefit them. Track your expenses. You could check out our resources down below. You could check out the plan disclosures. It usually gives you a lot of information. You want to look something up. Is there a late fee? How do other things work out? Actually, they didn't mention the fees, did they? There are fees. You know what? Actually, let's do that in the FAQs. The FAQs should have that. Oh, goodness. Eligibility. They usually include that. Most of these accounts have something called a maintenance fee that helps to pay for administrative costs, as well as a asset management fee that goes to pay for the investments that your monies are going into. Okay, so to open up this account, you need $50. That's the minimum to open the account, and any subsequent deposits may be as little as $1. And here we have South Carolinians pay $3.50 per month as a maintenance fee, and there is a small asset-based fee that ranges between 0.19 and 0.33. So at most, you're paying basically 1/3% for the investment options. Taxpayers, this is awesome. Awesome. South Carolina, you rock. Okay, taxpayers may deduct up to 100% of the contributions made to their South Carolina ABLE savings account from their South Carolina state income tax return, up to $426,000. beneficiaries' own contributions may be eligible for the federal savers credit. So let's break this up. Right? Grandma or somebody who works with 4 individuals that qualify for an ABLE account. Each one of those 4 individuals has an ABLE account, and they decide to contribute. Theoretically, and they live in South Carolina, and these 4 individuals who own the accounts live in South Carolina. They can theoretically contribute $15,000 to each one of these individuals, and then they would receive a $60,000 income tax deduction on their South Carolina income tax. So that's a lot, and that is very generous. And kudos to South Carolina for being brave and for opening that door, not the way they are, and really making this a very nice incentive. Okay, I think that's what we were going to cover today, and we were going to just look into 2 other things. Okay, forms, resources. Let's click resources, and then we'll go to contact us and wrap up. We need some of their brochures, power of attorney form. You can get that here at resources. Let's click open an account. See if this is enroll now. Very often it's a bunch of, let's see how this is set up. Very often it's a bunch of, it's some, standard information, name, address, social, birth date, etc. And then it's, a lot of checks. I want this option rather than this option. And you could make changes, and that's why it's a good idea to, consult somebody. If you have questions, I know that the team at South Carolina will be very excited and glad to answer your questions about their plan. They won't necessarily feel comfortable answering questions if something within the plan makes sense for you. Like if somebody sent us an email or posted something on below, if they had a comment. If you leave a comment or a question, we will we really try hard to respond. But if you did that and you asked us something, what's the balance limit of this account? We can answer that question, right? But if you were to say, well, the following investment option means blah, blah, blah for me, so is this a good idea? Not really our place to answer that. And I don't believe the team over at South Carolina ABLE is going to respond to that as well or address that as well. I don't believe so. In my other hat, where I am a financial advisor and I work with families, which I do, who have individuals as part of their family with special needs, and we help them with their planning in that area. And we work with them, and we know who they are, and we understand their risk tolerance and their goals, and we have the bigger picture in mind. We can make recommendations that are suitable for the individual, and that would be okay, right? The individual has to make the final decision, but that would be more appropriate. This about the plan, not personal questions. Well, thank you for, this is the contact information. Just wanted to show that to you. You can email them, call them. There's a contact form. Please don't leave, not a good idea to leave your social or your birth date in a contact form. That's just my, just being careful of security. My name is Rania Ish. I am part of the team over at specialneedslifeplanning.com. Our goal is to educate individuals across the United States about the planning process that goes into the various different components of special needs life planning. We are very familiar with a number of those components. but there are a lot of moving parts, and we really are not familiar with everything. And that's part of the reason why we started this as a resource, so that we can go out there, learn about something, and then share that in an article, in a video, in a webinar. We don't make believe to know everything, but we want to be there for you. So if there's something you want us to look into, something you are thinking about, wondering about, whether it's a vocational question, whether it's an insurance question, whether it's, I'm not an insurance guy, whether it's a housing question, we do our best to try to learn and understand and share information, whether it's our own original information or, directing you to a more direct resource. And that's it. Thank you for joining us. I'd love to have you subscribe below. Please subscribe and share this with other individuals, other agencies that may benefit. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It means a lot that you've spent the time with us. Just wanted to ask you if you could to please subscribe to our channel. It does help us. It means a lot to us. And if you are watching this on the blog, you wouldn't be able to subscribe, but you would be able to put in your email address and join the ABLE Report community. That means when we come out with information, when we come out with our ABLE reports, you would receive it. So please enter your email address if this is on the blog, or click subscribe on right below this video. Thanks so much. Until next time.